Hi there, my name is Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And oh boy, did that age badly. Now normally when I do one of my oh boy, did that age badly segments, this is something from like years and years ago. This is an article from 4 days ago. 4 days ago, and it's 3 days ago. Take 25% off that. It's from 3 days ago, and it's aged very badly. It's an article from Bleeding Full. Bleeding Full's a good site. Bleeding Full is the name. It's the name, I think, of the person who runs it, or the description of the person who runs it. Rich Johnson. Now, Rich Johnson, if you don't know, is, I would say, the Goebbels of the SJW takeover of entertainment. This site, Bleeding Cool, was one of the main propaganda outlets where he would use it to lambast anybody he thought was, not acceptable. was one of those deplorable people, and he would also use it to cover up the many misdeeds of the mainstream comic book industry, and laugh at the idea that it could in any way be in any trouble, right up until the point where the comic book industry imploded. And then Rich Johnson was kind of like that guy from the end of Indiana Jones whose face melted, like and it's been going on in slow motion ever since. So anyway, they put an article out saying how much they love the current era of Doctor Who. So why did this age so badly? Because there's probably no more current era of Doctor Who. That rumor is growing and growing, and we're hearing more corroboration from more quarters of more credible quarters. So fine. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? But most importantly, can you hit that subscribe button? Thank you very much. I am reasonably pathetically grateful for anybody subscribing, and I really am. It's like if you meet me in the street, I'm pretty much exactly like this. I will tell you the truth. I'm pathetically grateful for everybody subscribing. If you subscribe, of course, you can enter my weekly competitions. The prize which I'm giving away tonight, so you got to get in there quick. Tonight, September the 7th, I'm going to be on the TARDIS Zone with Noel. We're doing a watch-along of the 2006 Doctor Who episode Army of Ghosts, the penultimate episode in David Tennant's first season. So we're watching that, and we're going to do the prize drawing tonight, and then we're going to pick out a new prize. The new prize, I've already picked it out. It's something of deep interest to genre fans. Fine. So what is the prize this week, though? The prize this week is also of deep interest to genre fans. The Talons of Weng the double special edition. Yeah, Talons of Weng special edition double DVD set, not the Blu-ray, DVD. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, which is the freaking point I'm doing this for. Subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag Mr. Sin. Mr. Sin. Go check the video notes. You'll be able to just copy and paste it. Somebody put Mr. Sid the other day. I'm like, okay, close enough. You're in, mate. I love you. And also, while you're at the video notes, go check out, there's a download link for a Judge Dredd audio story made by a company called Big Finish. This story is out of license, out of print. You cannot get it for love nor money. Well, I think you can get it. You can probably get it for love and money. I would have thought, either one of those two might be able to get it. It's not that rare, It's not that rare. But here it's free, easy to get. Although, if you have trouble downloading it, just let me know. I will send you an even more direct link than the one that's on the website. Not website, on the video notes. If you do download it and you listen to it and you enjoy it, I would say if Big Finish ever gets a license back, go over there and buy yourself a digital copy. Or you know what, even if they don't get the license back, go over there, buy yourself one of their many very good budget releases. They got a good sale going on right now of H.G. Wells classics they did adaptations on, which are, I think, a freaking awesome series. I loved all of those. Fine, let's talk about Bleeding Cool. But before we get to Bleeding Cool, let's talk about why this has aged so badly. So in the last 2 days, it's come out that Tim Davie, the new Director General of the BBC, has a pretty different view of what the BBC is and how it's going to move forward in the future than Lord Tony Hall did. Lord Tony Hall said, BBC is the moral backbone of England, so that's why we're going to take all your entertainment, make it boring, and shake our finger at you, and lecture you, and make you want to shoot yourself in the face. Yeah, that's why. So, here's the truth. If somebody is sick and they need medicine, that medicine is probably going to be very helpful. If somebody's not sick and they take that medicine, it's not just not going to work. It's going to have a detrimental effect. So that's basically what's happening. The insane people in the BBC, the insane people in BBC believe that Britain is an intrinsically evil, sexist, and racist place, and has been since its very beginnings. There's no good in it whatsoever. So they had this great plan, this incredible plan that young girls who were clearly scared away from going into sciences, going into STEM subjects by the evil male patriarchy. If they make a stunning and brave hero, scientific hero who loves science, they'll be inspired to become scientists themselves, and then the world will be better somehow. Okay, but yeah, that's their crazy worldview. Now, as it turned out, most of England, most of the Western world isn't racist. Quite the opposite. So instead of going, oh, maybe we should look at people's like they're the same. No, instead of doing that, people just went, "Why are you lecturing me? Non-freaking stop." So the BBC's response to that was it was very good. It was very I think well balanced, well mannered. It was a very mannered response. Their response was something like this, going essentially that they didn't hear anything, and if anybody complained, they said, "Yes, because you're a hysterophobe." Yeah. So that went on for a number of years. It wasn't so good. That went on for a while. And then the new Director General came in. The new Director General comes from BBC Studios, who lives in what I like to call the real world. The real world, and real world where he knows that it's important to be able to sell things to make money. Like this is basic exchange, and the stuff they're making now, he knows better than anybody else how unsaleable the current era of Doctor Who is. He took Doctor Who. I think he was the one who marketed it in the US at the absolute height of its popularity, made it, I think, bigger than Doctor Who has ever been. Probably bigger than it was in the 60s with the Dalek movies. Like, made it bigger than it ever been before. And he had a front row seat to see it implode, which it absolutely did. It absolutely did. I think it started under the Capaldi era because, this inclusivity and diversity policy, again, it was just turned into a bunch of tokenism and lecturing, and people just switched off. They were bored and they switched off. So then they smugly said, "Well, TV audiences have changed in general." Yeah, no, people are watching it, have so much choice. No, you're making crap, so nobody wants to watch your crap. None of this is complicated. None of this is complicated. So this guy Tim Davie came in, and the rumor is that he wants to significantly change the direction of Doctor Who from being awful to being good, and so there's been somewhat of a power struggle been going on between BBC Studios, which Tim Davie used to run, and BBC Cardiff, which was protected by Lord Hall. Not so much anymore. So honestly, I would not be at all surprised if they kind of bury this Christmas of New Year's story that they're going to do and tack on a regeneration at the end. It just that seems illogical to me. It seems illogical to me to not do that. So something else that seems illogical to me is this article, which we're about to read together. Let's just reiterate that Bleeding Cool is contractually obligated to love the current Doctor Who. Because, again, if you don't love the current Doctor Who, you are a supporter of the current president of the United States, the government of England. Then that makes you want to hate anybody who isn't white and male. In their insane minds, that's how they genuinely look at it. So that's why they have to love this Doctor Who, not because it's any good. Fine. So let's hear Doctor Who. Here's why the 13th Doctor Origins explain everything. Okay, it does explain everything. Okay, the reason that they reveal the origins to be what they are is because they don't understand black people, basically. They're scared of and don't understand black people, and they just assume everybody is. And they don't understand Asian people, and they don't understand, and they're scared of all of them. They're really genuinely scared of all of them, and they're scared of them. And so, they think if I put people in that have the same surface characteristics and show you nothing about their character whatsoever, that's going to make you like something. So their plan was the Timeless Children. where we saw that Doctor is like has infinite doctors. There's like infinite doctors. They go on forever, and not many of them are white and male. So they're going to put all these extra incarnations, pepper it throughout the Doctor's lifetime. So everybody will be able to see themselves in the Doctor, but nobody's going to want to because it's not very good. That's basically the bottom line. So it does explain everything. How's it explain it? It's because the people making it are insane racists. That's why it explains everything. But I have a feeling that Adi Tantamid, how he pronounces it, is going to have a slightly different take on it. Let's hear what. I was going to say what he has to say, what she has to say. I don't know. What does that? I don't know. I listen. Did I just assume your gender? No, I have no idea what your gender is, mate. The 30th Doctor, stunningly played by Jodie Whittaker and helmed by showrunner Chris Chibnall, is a game changer for Doctor Who. Yeah, in many ways. The most significant game changer is it went from being good and popular to being bad and unpopular. Okay, let's just talk about that game change again. Good and popular to bad and unpopular. Oh, the other game changes, they used to make a lot more of it as well. They used to make like 12 or 13 episodes a year. Now they make 10 episodes every 18 months if you're lucky. I was going to say if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, yes. So there many ways it's been game changers. First, she was the first female to lead in canon. Yeah, I think she's been decanonized, okay? I think she's been decanonized in my head canon. She's just so freaking useless in the role. She's so bad in the role. It's unbelievable how bad she is. And incredibly, she actually got worse as she went along because she gained confidence in her absolutely awful performance. First, she was first female lead in canon. And I had to tell you, as I say in all my videos, I was on board for it. I thought, well, that's an interesting idea. Let's see what they got to do. I didn't think the plan was to make it crap. Okay, I didn't think the plan was, let's have a stunning and brave female Doctor and make it really boring. Make it boring, make it have no villains, and let's add in lots of preaching, okay? In her second season, Chibnall dropped a bombshell. The Doctor was the original timeless child, an immortal being from an unknown place who became the basis for all the Time Lords. Yeah, boring. It's just such a bad idea. Such a bad idea. Okay, firstly, if there's infinite Doctors, which apparently there are now, right? There's the untold Doctors. Then I think the uniqueness of being the Doctor is somewhat reduced, don't you think? If everybody's a Doctor, then nobody's a Doctor, right? They just made so many plot holes. Fire, look at his face. Oh my God. Gee, that's a stern face, right? That's I'm going to confront you face. Yeah, it's not. You look like Karen complaining to HR. That's who you look like, darling. You don't look like you're facing down Daleks. In fact, I don't know, it was a season 12, episode 1, Spyfall, right? Where she had her titanic confrontation with Lenny Henry. Yeah, that terrible villain, Lenny Henry. And she was useless. She was just like, look, if I was that villain, I would be like, could you have her killed before you go? She had zero intimidation. Right. The child came to the universe through a gateway from another universe or dimension or wherever. Who cares? Who cares? And was written. Let's be clear, to be a stunning little black girl. That was actually in the script. There was she regenerates into a beautiful brown girl. That was actually in the script. I can't think. Like, really. If it turns out the characters from Django Unchained broke out of their movie and started to make Doctor Who, this is what they would do, right? This is what they would be doing. Her adopted mother, Tectun, somebody else we haven't heard of, who was also a stunning and brave woman of science, discovered her regenerative ability and then murdered her over and over again. Her adopted mother murdered her child over and over again to get the secret of regeneration. Then murdered the ability to turn into another body, even gender. Oh yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? That was such a thing. I remind you that Big Finish did they were the first people to do a female Doctor, and this would be in like the early 2000s. Maybe 2005, before the series came back, right? So it was before 2005, I think. And they did one with, was it Abella Bella Weir and Bella Weir. I'm not sure Mrs. Weir as a doctor, but they said the only way that one can change their gender is if they commit suicide. If a Time Lord commits suicide, then they regenerate into a different gender. Now that's not canon anymore, but that goes shows you how in a short space of time ago, not that long ago at all, that the idea of gender swapping was completely unheard of. Now what I really think they should have done if you're gonna swap the gender, which would have really worked as well, because he had the Master Missy change her gender, and the Doctor wasn't able to work out she was the Master, and she told him. And I think the implication was the gender change was the thing that disguised her. So they should have had swapping gender was something that he didn't do, was something that was socially unacceptable in the olden days in Gallifrey. But now in the more modern progressive days, people now like to do it, right? So that's what they should have. But no, that's what they was saying. They wasn't going to say, oh, it's always been a way to change your gender. Ever has always been transgender. No, it's a lie. And look, the basic religious point that they adhere to is that all human beings are both completely fluid in terms of their sexuality and their gender. And they're not. They're not. It's just they believe it's just social conditioning that makes us not be open to that. No, there is no data to support that bonkers idea, that bonkers worldview. Fine, to regenerate and even take turn experimented on the child to understand regeneration, murdered repeatedly. Then gave it to herself and elite Gallifreyan society. Now immortal, Gallifreyans developed time travel technology and built. Well, how do they know they didn't develop beforehand? That was not implicit in the episode at all. And built up the planet with a new Time Lords as the ruling elite. Okay, this is all your interpretation, because none of this was explained. Every Time Lord has some of the Doctor's DNA in them. Without the Doctor, there will be no Time Lords. Oh, God, it's such a bad idea. It's just, it's just such a bad idea. Chibnall said, he's like, they added in a secret Doctor. Stephen Moffat added in a secret Doctor, and everyone, it's so good. I'm going to add in thousands of them, and they're going to like me 1,000 times more. And I really believed he thought it was going to go down well. I really believed he was like, I can't wait till they see it. I can't wait. Oh, what? I would love to have seen his face after he saw the reaction. But nobody's going to see his face after he saw the reaction because, that's one thing they kept hidden since the Doctor Who aired. Open public engagements by Whittaker or Chibnall, because you got to have a vetted crowd because you've done such a terrible bloody job. Without no Time Lord Dinham, without the Doctor, there will be no Time Lords. Chibnall said the Doctor is non-binary. What did he say? Chibnall said the Doctor is non-binary a year before this retcon. He was planning this from the start. Yeah, well, that's nothing new. Again, the least intimidating face. You're darling, you're not scaring anyone. The retcon that changed everything. Yes, again, changed it from being popular and good. Although I think it wasn't good afterwards anymore. They're quoting Alan Moore here. Let's see what they've got to say. This is one of those everything you thought was wrong retcons, but was done badly. That writer's introduced to spice up a series that threatens to get long in the tooth. Of course, it came out of comics. Alan Moore's deconstructions about, which is 40 years old now. It's not cutting edge anymore. It was cool in the 80s when he did it. Now I think what we need is a return to traditionalism. Let's just have good natured fun. I watched The Spy Who Loved Me on Saturday night. Did a watch long of it. It was just sheer unabashed fun. It wasn't po-face, it wasn't lecturing, it was just fun. No need to I think it's time to reconstruct rather than deconstruct. Of course, again, deconstruct the approach, cast a long shadow over the approach. Okay, the reason why it cast a long shadow is because then the people the people making comics pissed Alan Moore off so much he stopped making mainstream comics. And so that's where his development kind of stopped. Alan Moore, I believe, to be a very, very innovative, a writer that constantly pushes forward the boundaries. I think he would have moved beyond that had he stayed within the mainstream comic book industry, which he would have done had they not, taken repeated dumps and pisses on it all over him. As the current showrunners were influenced by his work, Russell T Davies did it by having Gallifrey destroyed and making the Doctor the one who did it stop the Time War. Yeah, now here's the difference. Russell T Davies is a good writer and he understands Doctor Who. Chris Chibnall is not a good writer and doesn't understand Doctor Who. And again, it just worked. That Russell T Davies Time War thing just worked. It wasn't retcon. It was, this is how things have moved forward. Then Davies brought Gallifrey back at the end of his tenure. Not really. There was more Stephen Moffat brought it back. Yeah, they visited it, but it was still locked away. Stephen did it by changing history so the Doctor didn't destroy Gallifrey at all but preserved it. Again, Moffat, very, very talented writer who understands Doctor Who. I think we're picking out the things that Chibnall doesn't really excel in. Now Chibnall takes it further, not only by destroying Gallifrey again, because he saw that work before, now revealing the truth again behind the Doctor's origin and the nature of regeneration and Time Lord. Again, this is aged badly because it's about to be a race. It's about to be a race forever. I thought it would last one more season, but I don't think it's even going to last that. The Doctor was an abused child. Abused by his mother, his adopted mother. Chibnall's change in history also answers some fundamental questions that have lingered over the show's entire history. No, they did. Nobody ever said, doesn't this make sense? Would it make sense if he was an abused child? No, maybe he was just a good moral person. Again, people who aren't good moral people don't understand that, right? They don't say, there's got to be some motivation to be a good moral... No. All you got to do is be a good person, right? And have some moral fiber, moral backbone, which again, these idiots that live on Twitter have zero. Chibnall's change to history also has some fundamental questions that lingered over the show's history. He turned the Doctor into an abused child at heart, and Gallifrey her abuser. It explains why the Doctor may save Gallifrey time and again, but never want to stay. No, Robert Holmes did it a lot better. Okay, Robert Holmes in Deadly Assassin, he just made Gallifrey a corrupt, hypocritical society, which didn't match a staid, corrupt, hypocritical society, which didn't match the Doctor's driving force, his morality, his burning morality. But again, these are morality plays made by immoral people, right? So they don't really understand it. The Doctor always gets the hell away once the deed is done. Yeah, because he doesn't want to become a bureaucrat. The Chibnall doesn't spell it out because he doesn't have the ability, but that's because the Doctor can't bear to stay at the place where they abused her for thousands, possibly millions of years. Excuse me, even by Chibnall's idiotic writing, the Doctor didn't know any of this. So so this is a subconscious. No, again, this is a story of people. This is the sound of people clutching at straws, right? They may have wiped her memories, but deep down the Doctor remembers. So they didn't wipe her memory then, okay? Or did they? The question of why the Doctor ran away is answered at last. It's always been answered. It's always had an answer. Even after the Doctor gets elected president, he never stayed to enjoy the power and prestige. Because again, he's somebody who doesn't like power and prestige. A few paragraphs ago, you mentioned Alan Moore. Alan Moore is somebody who's turned down much power and much prestige because he wants to remain independent. He wants to remain independent to himself, right? Now, does that mean Alan Moore was an abused child that was then used as a genetic template for Gallifrey? No, it just means he's a strong, moral person. That's all it means. And again, for somebody who's not a strong moral person, they're going to go, I don't understand that. Because you're not a moral person. The question of why the Doctor anyways answered last, even after the Doctor gets away, but he never said anything about power. Okay, fine. Because he knew that it was founded on lies, hypocrisy, and her exploitation. Do you reckon the next Doctor's going to be a woman? I don't know. But, honestly, if the Doctor's mostly been male and all of a sudden becomes female, I could keep being very, very pointedly saying hair. I think you're making a point. Seeing Doctor Who in a new light. The new light of nobody watching it. Right, that's a new light. The new light is of something that's not successful. The Doctor's abuse at the hands of the gallery also explains why the Doctor became the protector of children. Oh, God, no. The childlike innocence, He loves children because children are not bound by convention. Their imaginations are not constrained by life. By the way, if you're a new parent, or if you're not a parent, or the reason babies cry, when you try and put them to sleep is because they don't know they're going to wake up again, and they really like being alive. Kids haven't learned being alive. Life sucks yet, and that's why kids don't like going to bed. That's really the bottom line, and that's why the Doctor liked children. If these idiots had any children, they may know this, but they don't, because I don't know. Yeah, that seems a bit too traditional to have children. It's not just the right kind of thing. It's not just the right and the kind thing to do. It comes from a place of trauma and deep empathy. No. Not at all. Granted, in a show for children, the hero doesn't really need a reason to be a friend and protector of children. Yeah, listen, I watched Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom about a month or so ago, a couple of months ago, and Indiana Jones loved children. He came to protect children. He was the child's hero. It's worth watching that movie again because it's amazing how much he's a child's hero. He's wonderful. And again, you don't need. Okay, this is just baby-brained idiocy, really. Baby-brain idiocy is the only way I can really describe this. Now Chibnall's given the Doctor an emotional reason for doing it because he didn't have one before. God, you're an idiot. Adi Tamamech, whatever your name is, you are an idiot. To watch the old episodes of the show before Chibnall's Retcon actually gives you an additional layer of meaning now. Well, that's the only episode I watch. I do watch the current ones to review them, and I hate every second. It doesn't diminish the past stories at all. Yeah, because it's not real. It's not part of Doctor Who. It's so bad, it's decanonized itself. That's how bad it is. When you watch the past Doctor version played by William Hart, Patrick Talons, John Purdy, Tom Baker, Peter Davis, Colin Baker, Paul McGann, and Sylvester McCoy. What's wrong with John Hurt? And their deeply ambivalent interactions with Gallifrey takes on a whole new meaning, knowing the origin of the timeless child. But they didn't know about it! Bloody idiot! But their mind was wiped, but it wasn't wiped. They wiped, but not. Oh, geez, bloody idiot. Chibnall has also introduced more unknown incarnations. Yes, unlimited incarnations to the out there prior to the first Doctor. Had you prior, I heard it's going to be all the way through, all the way through the round Doctor. Prior to the first Doctor, that opens up more story possibilities, not less. No, again, it makes the character boring. It makes the character. If everybody's a Doctor, then nobody's interesting. The Doctor's not interesting. Everything becomes dull by making it commonplace, and that's what you did. You taken the Doctor. I mean, honestly, this Doctor, Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, that's really what they did. Instead of what the Doctor would usually do is take ordinary people and raise them up, but this Doctor has brought a extraordinary person, Doctor, and lowered themselves down to be lower than most than most companions. Again, it's just a bad story. And also the Doctor is effectively immortal now. Nothing bad can happen. Like, I don't like my haircut. Let's see what's that one. The next regeneration is going to be like. Chibnall has made her hero the underdog again. How was she not the underdog? I don't understand. More mysterious than ever. No, more commonplace and more boring than ever. With unlimited regenerations, effectively immortal, the show can now go on forever without end. Funnily enough, that's the thing that's going to end the show, though, isn't it? That's a bit funny, isn't it? I suspect Chibnall has also embedded the end point of the Doctor's story here. If he chooses to do it, the Doctor's final story will probably end with her dying and going through a gate, only to end up in a distant past and regenerate into the original time. Oh, God, I hope not. And be found by Tech-Toon. That's a really dumb idea. That's my guess. Of course, a new showrunner could always retcon all this out in a flash. And is going to. and is going to. And we'll be off on another path. But that's the nature of Doctor Who. Yeah, I know. They really want to say there is no canon. There's no canon. So we can do anything. No, that's not true. Yeah, okay, I understand canon is a little bit, there's a bit of discontinuity, but there is a canon. There is a canon, and by pretending there isn't, you alienate its viewership, which is essentially, again, what happened. It's a show whose own continuity has always been fluid. Writer Paul Cornell once said that in a universe retcons itself, every time the Doctor gets in the TARDIS and dematerializes. Yeah, Paul Cornell, who was just sniffing around Chris Chibnall's arse earlier this year to get a job. It would be funny if they don't make season 13 and he just doesn't get his chance at all. Don't like this bit of canon? Don't worry, a new one will be along in a moment. Don't worry, and it is going to be along in a moment. So that's by Adi Tantameth. Adi Tantameth is a filmmaker, screenwriter, and novelist. Probably shit at all of them. But on the strength of this article, probably shit at all of them. It's he. He wrote plays for the BBC Radio, GLH, Age of Wonder, for DC Comics, Black... Yeah, okay, fine. Who cares? Who cares? Much like who cares about the Tiny Children? Nobody, because the people who like it, all they care about is the Doctor being stunning and brave. They don't. They just like, let me feast on those lovely warm man boy tears. Yeah, that's all they really care about. And I think those warm tears are going to be coming out of other eyes sooner rather than later. My name is Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.